Hey guys, it's Wheeling the Time Boy Gamer here, or Wheeling the Simpsons and Atomic Puppet fan 2003 here, and today I wanted to discuss with you two episodes since there's going to be a Steven Universe and Gravity Falls crossover this coming month, which is on May 21st and June 15th, which is the Gravity Falls 10th anniversary. But anyways, today I'll be doing not a request, but I'll actually be doing my own summary on this. I haven't been doing a lot of summaries for a long time. So for today's topic, we are going to do an episode summary, Steven's Birthday, Season 2, Episode 23, and The Inconveniencing, a Season 1 episode of Gravity Falls. Okay, before we start the video, I just wanted to say Happy Steven Universe and Gravity Falls month to everyone. Alright? I wanted to say that, okay? But anyways, let's start. Steven's Birthday is actually the 23rd episode of the second season of Steven Universe. It is actually the 75th episode, and it's the fourth Steven bomb. So, what is a Steven bomb? A Steven bomb is actually an American advertising programs of Cartoon Network. Basically, it is a lot of those things, and that's a picture of Steven with the drawing of a bomb, not the actual bomb. Okay, I'm not scaring you guys. All right. So eventually, when the crystal gems are actually setting up for Steven's 14th birthday, they've noticed that Steven is actually concerned. They start working on the drill. They assure a Peridot to keep things in check. Amethyst begins to pass Peridot about the party but fails to amuse her. Garnet had reasons to celebrate Steven's progress. After that, Connie had arrived to Greg's van to celebrate his son's birthday. Connie explains that it was very hard to convince her parents. Because of this, her mom is actually a doctor and her father is a cop. Apparently, what I was going to say is that many parents are so strict. They're very strict on their children. Sometimes this is known as curfew, It's known as curfew, that. Okay, anyways, let's continue, okay? So eventually, they had to let her stay in Steven's barn for the weekend, but they refused to let her go without any safety equipment, including a defibrillator. So when Greg Universe actually holds up an album, it shows Steven progressing from age to age. So basically, it says like Steven is a baby, then he's a toddler, then he's an adolescent, so many preteens, and then adolescent. Now this is actually wrong. So eventually, when you're an infant, it's around when you're a newborn to 2 years old. A toddler is about 1, 2 sometimes, till 4 or 5 years old. For preteen, it's actually 8 years old to 12, and then a preteen is from 13 to 19 years old. So this is actually Steven's age, so he was actually 14 in this episode. So Connie was actually surprised about Steven's age. But since she's only around 12 and 3/4, it was actually believed that Steven is older than Connie. So eventually, Steven uses his growth on his crystal gem. He can stretch out. He would shapeshift himself, but eventually, due to that, it was actually a magical growth spurt. So Steven, Crystal Gems, and Connie actually have fun by playing a lot of birthday games, especially badminton. However, things did not go well in the end. While Steven and Connie were watching the stars and doing some constellation puzzles, Steven then shrinks himself into a baby, causing him to cry. Connie warns the Crystal Gems and his father that he had turned himself into a baby. He starts crying. So eventually, when Connie and Greg goes into the car with baby Steven, Connie had noticed that she had to go home because of Greg, but apparently Connie wanted to stay with Steven no matter what he does. The next morning, Steven had reverted back into his original form. Connie just wakes up and assumes Steven has reverted into a zygote. Steven then apologizes to her because he wanted to make the way he wanted to be for Connie because he's older. He simply tells him that it's fine and Steven is just the way he is. And then Greg and the Crystal Gems apparently show the discovery, impressing them. But the iris star shows onto Connie's face and closes with a smile of relief. So that's actually the summary and the beginning of Steven's 14th birthday. And this one was released on January 5th, 2016. So what I was gonna say is that there's actually a trivia. Rebecca Sugar actually had confirmed that Steven's birthday was August 15th, the same Steven Sugar, Rebecca's son, was born. So eventually, Greg's photo album shows that Steven was actually not biologically aged when he was around 8 years old. So what I really think about this episode is kind of fun. I've watched that episode before, Steven's birthday. I've actually heard about the show Steven Universe back when I was a kid, but I forgot when I first watched. It was probably back in 2013 or maybe later than that. I'm not really that sure. But anyways, let's just go to the next story, which is The Inconveniencing. The Inconveniencing is actually a Gravity Falls episode, which is the first season of episode 5. This was actually written by Alex Hirsch and Michael Yanda. The original edit was 13th of July, 2012. But the international date for Canada is on July 20th, 2012. This was actually released 10 years ago. It first premiered on Disney Channel. So when Dipper actually tries to impress Wendy to act older when he really is, he was invited to join a group of teenagers. And the teenager's name was Robbie, Tambry, and I do believe sorry about that, Lee and Thompson. So eventually it all started in the Mystery Shack when Dipper, Mabel, Wendy, and Sus were actually hanging out during that time. During the Mystery Shack at that time, Stan tells that he was going to clean the bathrooms. Sus says, well, Wendy refuses. When Stan leaves, Dipper and Mabel show up. It was resigned that it had a place to relax during work. When Dipper apparently saw Wendy the next day, she apparently told the group that Dipper was 13 years old. So eventually, she meets her teenage friends. So eventually, after they arrived at the inconvenience store, the doors was locked. So eventually, they decided to arrive at the dusk to dawn. It was an old convenience store shut down when Ma and Pa died of a heart attack, which is the cause of death was teenagers. So eventually, when they arrived at the dawn and dusk, it was actually replied as a murder mystery. So why would you really think it was a murder mystery? I'm not too sure why it was definitely a murder mystery. But the couple died there and it was being haunted ever since. So eventually, Mabel finds some smile dip in the end, and it could later lead to hallucinations after eating a lot of them. So what is smile dip? Smile dip is actually a parody of fun dip. It's a hallucinated candy which is manufactured by Neoms, the company that actually makes gummy koalas. It's actually banned from America. It used to be sold at the store. So actually this one is like the smile dip, but it's actually sour, but apparently when you make it, it's actually like not edible. Okay guys, I'm so sorry for everything about these commercials. I try to not include them, okay? I know this is not my fault, but I'm serious, okay? Let's just like continue, okay? So after that, Maple was actually brainwashed by this candy. So apparently what I was gonna say is that Mabel actually trapped some of Wendy's friends inside the foods. So eventually what I was gonna say is that when they were trying to leave, Mabel blocks the door. But then Dipper confesses that he was technically 12 and he's not a teen yet. Well, in the other seasons, he was gonna be a teen. So apparently Ma and Pa was actually the dead couple and was the ghost. The cause of death was actually teenagers, which were annoying to the store. And so they banned teenagers from the store. So apparently Dipper does the Lamby Lamby dance and couldn't do it without a costume. Pa snaps the fingers and the lamb costume on him. So Dipper actually performs a silly dance, and Pa was freezed by the dance and frees him and his friends. When the gang got back home, Stan threw his TV out the window in the end. And he saw the scenes, the twins staring at them, and blames it on the remote being missing. So I didn't really think about this episode. I'll just say that this episode was actually kind of cool. Well, except for the fact you get like hallucinations. So Dipper and Maple are actually 12 years old, which actually does mean that they're actually in middle school. So eventually, he once did the Lamby Lamby dance when he was younger. He had a serious crush on Wendy, but Dipper had a fear of monsters, which is also called terrophobia. He wakes up at night thinking about Wendy. So what happened in the end? The old couple died due to a heart attack which is caused by teenagers. It was shut down because of this. Alright? Okay guys, I'm so sorry about this, but I do believe that's all for now, and thank you for watching this video. And again, what I was gonna say is happy Steven Universe and Gravity Falls months to everyone. For those of you who have known this show, it's fine. I know Gravity Falls, and I used to watch a lot of this show back when I was a little kid. It all started, I think, back in 2012 or maybe 2013, 2014. I was a kid at that time when watching this. I've heard of both shows before when I was a kid. Not lying, I've watched some of them. It was really good. But unfortunately, you won't be able to see Gravity Falls anymore and Steven Universe as well, because both of these shows got cancelled in 2016 and 2019. But even though they're still available on YouTube, I'd suggest you look up in the full episodes. They probably do have a lot of full episodes which feature Steven Universe and Gravity Falls as well. Alright? So eventually I could say that's all for now. I don't know why I keep on talking. And apparently guys, my birthday is gonna come out next Sunday. So apparently, if you're new to this channel, you're welcome. But you just have to read the rules. It's simple, easy as that, okay? It's easy peasy lemon squeezy to read rules before commenting, you know? Like, this one is like Steven's birthday, you know? Like, let's do a birthday special for me. I'm gonna turn 19 next Sunday. It's actually going to be my 19th birthday next Saturday. Eventually, what I was gonna say is that, yeah, my birthday is going to come up soon. And apparently you guys have known about this before, basically back in my videos. But anyways guys, that's all for now, and this is me signing off. So one more thing, happy Mother's Day to everyone, which is tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.